Friends too.
Yeah, buddy, what's going on?
Well, here we are on another week.
Right on, right on. Anything spectacular happen over the week?
One notable thing that I wanted to touch base on tonight. There's rumors flying, I don't know. John 5.
Right.
Mick Mars.
Yeah, kind of a strange thing there.
I'm torn on the whole thing. Like, hey, more power to him. Like, if it goes that way, if like Mick's cool with, stepping out and all that jazz, I don't know. But other than that, we have a guest, and I think we should get into that.
What's going on, Ken? Welcome to Bleach Bangs.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Do you have any input on John 5 replacing Mick Mars? I don't know, man.
I don't. I just did an interview with Stormy Deal, his daughter. Super nice. She's sweet, and I think I'm going to be doing some production and mixing on a project that Tommy Lee just played on.
Nice.
So, yeah, I was shocked. I was like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal from what I've heard in the pictures and stuff. Not that I've seen, but
now when you say a big deal, I think I know what you're referencing.
How are you, Ken? My name is Randy. I'm in Oklahoma City, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I am currently in Playas, Ecuador, and
nice.
So yeah, I'm usually posted up in New York City, but we have a kind of a getaway down here on the beach that I have a studio set up, and so I come down here to get away and make records and kind of appreciate life a little bit more.
Heck yeah, I love that.
So yeah, I'm down here kind of working on a lot of the new Obscene Stealers stuff that's coming out, and so for those that don't know, that's my group. So me and Michael Moss are Obscene Stealers, and we basically, like, I describe our music as epic as fuck, which is like it's all like big cinematic music in various directions. Like, I'm pretty sure the next single we put out is going to have big heavy guitars and shit and like real driving guitars, but it's all of the stuff that we do is going to have these big, like, really cinematic drums, and it's going to feel like being at the movies listening to pop or rock songs. It's kind of that's the lane Obscene Stealers is in. And but yeah, so I'm posted up in Ecuador right now, just trying to enjoy life and make some good music and kick back.
Hey, I love that. This is John.
I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
And Oklahoma City.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, so I'm a Midwest boy.
Right on. So yeah, I just really wanted to talk about everything that you've got going on, especially with the Obscene Stealers. I was checking out some of the stuff, and you're right, it goes in every direction, and you're just kind of like, wow.
Yeah, It was that stuff came about by accident. Like I'm old and I've been making records since the dawn of time. And I've never wanted to or tried to be an artist myself. And I met this guy, Michael Moss. He's a German film trailer composer.
Okay.
And I have affectionately nicknamed him Michael Moss, the movie trailer boss. Because he's scored trailers for like the Batman and Mulan, Star Wars, Fast and Furious. Like the dude
Holy
is
shit.
fucking serious.
Right.
So we made, of all things, a Christmas record together last year. And you know, when like creatives just click, you just know it. And he and I were just like, we work together really well and we like each other. And so he was like, we should do more. Why don't you just send me some stuff to work on? And I was like, so I put together a folder of acapellas of songs that I'd written in the past that I had never found homes for or had never released. And I was like, let's see what he does with this. And he started sending me back mind-blowing shit. So I was like, there's something here and the two of us should do this. So that's how Obscene Steelers was born, like really by accident. And now it, you know, it might be the thing that vaults me into the future. Like, you know, my other shit is I'm a producer, mixer, arranger, musician, vocalist. What else do I do? Engineer, songwriter, sample recreator, educator. I've got way too many irons in the fire at all times, but that just seems to be the way I like it. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I love having producers on just because I love trying to figure out how they think and how they do what they do. I mean, it's just amazing how like Mutt Lang can take something and just make it so fucking huge and go in a whole direction that like Def Leppard wasn't even thinking, you know, and just make it work. And it fits the time, it fits what's going on, it just fits. And
those Mutt Lang Def Leppard records back in the day, holy shit.
Yeah.
For me, like I think the best way to describe kind of producer superpowers is that it's really just, you know, we have our own journey and our own specialties. Like Michael Phelps didn't win 8 gold medals at one Olympics because he's an incredible swimmer. He won them because he got in the pool 8 hours a day, every single day for 4 years, and then went to the Olympics.
You're exactly right.
That's been so. When you think about like, well, if you're producing stuff yourself or you're working with somebody like me, there are things that I know about production and mixing and manipulation of audio and music and things like that. I know more about that stuff than most people on the planet. So you trying to make a record and me trying to make a record are just different. I can look at all of my tools and I can go like, oh, I know what to do with this. So I'm just, you know,
that just blows my shit. I have seen some of that, and I'm like, I wouldn't even know where to begin.
I love it. It's really fun. One of my skill sets is I'm really good at just listening to something. I did this today with a #1 hit songwriter, and he sent me stuff. I'm producing a song for him right now, and I pulled it apart arrangement wise, just listening to the 2-track, and I sent him notes, and I was like, okay, well, I would shorten the intro by half, and I would set it up like this, and I would shorten the first pre-chorus by half, and I would get rid of the second post-chorus, and I would take the fade away, and I would put a big choir on the hook. And he was ready to mix. And he saw my notes, and he's like, you're right, let's go. And
that's awesome.
And so it's just, I mean, I get to do what I love every day. I'm so fucking lucky. It's just, but it's always, but it is 7 days of work perpetually.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, it's not for everybody.
We had Bo Hill on our show one time. Yeah, he's a monster as well. And just his thought process with everything. And he broke it down so simple. He goes, I listen to the song with my eyes closed the first time through, and I just make notes. This is what needs to happen here. I feel this here. And your first true feel of that song is usually right.
Yeah.
And he said that's how he approaches the first run, is just like what you said. I mean, you already knew 15 things that were just freaking wrong.
Right.
and I think that's exactly what he said. He goes, I'll pick it apart, and they think they have something just like you said. Let's go, let's master this. And you're like, yeah, slow down.
there's levels to this shit. And you know, but yeah, Beau Hill, wow. I mean, talk about somebody whose records I've listened to a massive amount of, man.
Exactly. Yeah, he was great. And it's just eye-opening. And when I saw that you were a producer, I'm like, you know what? We need another one on. Because I just love how you guys think and how you transform things into something that is just so sellable.
One of the things that I really love doing is vocal production. Because I've found that I just have a knack for being able to put a singer into their comfort zone and to create a vibe for them so that they can kind of unlock every artist until they unlock this has a wall around them, and they only sing to 80-90% of their ability, and they're never going to sing so recklessly that they sing flat and sharp and just plain wrong notes. But that's where the magic is. And for me, I always tell a vocalist, I'm like, okay, look, we're going to take a lot of takes. It's not you, it's me. I'm going to push you in a bunch of different directions. I'm going to let you have as much freedom as you want. And whenever you sing a wrong note, I didn't hear that note. That note went out. You and I are the only people in history who are ever going to hear that note. So let that shit go and refocus your brain on the next line and the next one after that. And I want you making mistakes, because if you're not going for it. And there's a ton of other techniques and shit like that, but it's basically kind of a gentle pushing process. And I've done this so many times, and I've just seen vocalists who are really reserved just open up and deliver the most amazing vocal performances. And when you get to experience that and bring that out of somebody, it's a fucking high. You know, it's just such a rush. And you're like, okay, I want to do that again. Where's the next vocalist? Let's do another record.
I love it.
So I've got a two-part question going along with this. So what's been one of the easiest projects for people to work with, and what's one of the most challenging?
Easiest. Michael Moss is pretty easy to work with, but heavy hitter easy. David Byrne was a joy to work with. The head talking head, for anybody who doesn't know who David Byrne is. And I recorded and mixed a solo album with him in 1998 called Look Into the Eyeball. I played keyboards and bass on a few songs on that as well. I'm a session musician too. I play on a ton of records.
Cool.
And so David would show up. So we were working in like downtown New York City. David rode his 10-speed bike through the city to the studio every day. On day one, the band is out in the control room, or band's out in the studio, and we're in the control room. David brings the band in, and he's looking through the menu book, and the intern's there, and the intern hands David a sheet of paper, and David puts down his own order, and then David hands the menu book to the bass player. The intern's standing right there. David keeps the pad. The intern's not doing anything. David takes the bass player's order, then the guitar player's order, then the drummer's order, then my order. This is day one. I barely met him. And then he takes that and he hands it to the intern, and he says, can you please call this in? And I was just like, this is going to be the funnest record I ever made. Holy shit. This guy is so fucking cool. I just don't even know what to do with it. And that played out through the whole thing. Difficult. I mean, one of the obvious ones would be Kanye. My God.
I couldn't imagine.
So here's just an aside for what the fucking lunacy that Kanye is doing right now. I believe, and everybody says whatever, but he's got admitted mental problems. It seems like he's in the middle of a bipolar break.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever knew anybody in the middle of a bipolar break, they don't know what they're saying. And I don't think he does either. I'm not letting him off the hook for it. My God, somebody needs to wrangle him in. But, so anyway, he was the most difficult. But also, like, I love being challenged, and I loved being challenged by him, because not only was he the most difficult, he opened up the most doors for me. In that I became the guy that when Kanye knew, and I've worked with him since before anybody knew who Kanye West was, before he was an artist. So when he was an artist, I became the guy who, whenever he wanted a certain sound or sampled something that he couldn't clear, or had a vision for something that nobody in his inner circle could accomplish in the room, then he would call me and he'd be like, "Hey, Ken," or his guys or him or whoever. And they would tell me whatever, and I would get it done. So I became the figure it out guy. And that led, I mean, it's amazing the doors that it opened. I worked on Gold Digger and Heartless and all of the lights and Power, and I mean, the list goes, all falls down. It's just, I think I've got 20 or 25 gold records with him. And I probably missed another 10 from work that he called me for and then didn't use the work. And, but good problems to have.
Right.
But, he's a difficult person, but he is the most brilliantly visioned person maybe I've ever worked with. And I don't care what anybody says about him, and he's crazy now. I'm sorry, Kanye. I love you to death, but you gotta hear it. But musically, he's changed the course of music several times in his life. I mean, completely. I actually hope they don't mind me saying this. Avenged Sevenfold brought me out to LA to produce for them for a week of pandemic, because I had produced certain things for Kanye West that they really loved. And they were like, we have visions for different sounds that we want. And it wasn't hip hop. They weren't trying to go hip hop or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But because, like, okay, so some of the things I've done for Kanye West, I produced several choirs for him. I produced the horn section on all of the lights. That's all live horns. That was all done by, I produced it. I didn't play it. I don't play horns. But I recorded and mixed the whole thing. So all of these different offshoots laid the foundation for my career to get calls from Avenged and to get calls from people that I would have never imagined would have been influenced by Kanye in completely different musical genres.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's been really wild. So, it's difficult, but it's worth it. I haven't worked with him since Pablo, and I'm not really itching to, but out of still respect, if he called, I'd go.
See, I love that insight. You're saying he's a very talented individual, and us looking from the outside, we're just kind of like, does everybody else do everything for him? Does he just go in and lay it down after it's all built and everybody puts the foundation down for him, or does he do this himself?
One of the most brilliant things about him is he can do it all himself. He can't play, but he can create beats and sample, and he can create full musical soundscapes, no problem at all. He's produced a ton of artists. When he started making his own records, he could have produced everything himself, and just it had been the Kanye West show. He had the foresight to go out and get the heaviest hitters to surround him so that the albums that he made would be classics. And he's always done that. And if you look back, if you're a hip hop fan, The College Dropout is going to be listened to for all time. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Pitchfork called the album of the decade. And I agree. And, I mean, that's him surrounding himself with highest level talent when he doesn't need to. And what he does, he's like the conductor or the, you know, the ringleader. And it's his vision and a lot of his execution, but it's his wherewithal to reach out and and ask opinions, and then survey the heads in the room, the guys that he really trusts, and go like, okay, what do you think? And then he reaches out to different people for different skill sets. I'm the figure it out guy. I'm the we know what we want, but we don't know how to get it. Ken always figures that shit out. He can do anything. Call me. And, you know, other guys serve other roles, and, you know, but to me, that's always been his brilliance is he's a great producer, and he surrounds himself with great producers. Not many producers do that.
Very insightful. That's awesome. That's awesome. How about the drums in Girl on Fire? Tell me a little bit about that.
So we cut those at Alicia's studio called The Oven in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And right next to Jungle City. So I just got a call one day from my friend Ann Mancelli. Ann owns Jungle City Studios. If anybody needs a studio in New York City, Jungle City is the best.
Awesome.
Love working there. So Ann is like Alicia Keys right on. And I've known Ann since forever. So she called me up. She's like, we need some drums on this song. And I was like, okay, what do you need? Whatever. We talked. So I brought my session drummer, Dylan Wissing, down to Alicia's studio, The Oven. And we set up like 20 or so microphones all over the room, close, far, near. We brought maybe 10 kick drums and about 20 snares. And we spent all day just capturing different weighted hits on different snares at different tunings and different like dampenings and shit like that. Same with kicks, and then we would play patterns and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And then I basically took all of those sounds and I took them back to my studio for 2 days, and I just layered and crushed and manipulated and until it became the drums that they were. One of the secret sauce on that was, Dylan says, he's like, let me try laying a splash cymbal on the snare head. It's going to sound awesome. And I'm like, what? He's like, trust me. I'm like, okay. So he puts a splash on this. That was the sound. Oh. So if anybody wants the Girl on Fire snare drum, put a little splash cymbal, right? Don't tape it. Just let it sit there. And that was the kind of the secret sauce that we were missing. So who knew?
That's amazing. That is amazing.
But I also did the big drums on Fun We Are Young.
Okay.
That's my snare. And kick. And that was a totally different process. That was all just, you know, one shot drum hits that, you know, from like a sample service or some shit like Splice. And just layering those and manipulating until it became what it was. And so completely different process, but similar results.
But you knew what the final outcome, you knew what you wanted. It was just trying to figure out how to get there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's you always, well, I found I always have a vision for where I'm going, and it usually doesn't end up perfectly like that. But it gives you a barometer and a sense of, okay, I have a pretty clear picture of where I want this song to go, and I have a pretty clear picture of how I want to get there, and I know we're going to meander and deviate and create awesome things that I'm not hearing right now, and we're going to find an amazing finish line, but this is the direction. And that's kind of how I, like, if I listen to a demo or something like that, that's usually kind of how my brain works. And I can kind of hear the whole thing in my head put together. And like I said, it doesn't end that way, but somewhat in the ballpark, you know.
Get you. Wow. Yeah. See, this is what I love about producers. They just blow my mind how they come up with this stuff. I guess it's like movie writers and stuff like that. It's just like, how did they come up with this, and how did they get this final product that is just so huge and so big, and how do you get there?
I think people don't realize how much time is put into a lot of some records come together real quick, but
Mm-hmm.
like we produced a record for a rock artist named Des Rocks,
Mm-hmm.
and we released a song every 2 months for 2 years straight, and completely independently got him up to like 1.7 million listeners a month on Spotify. And ever since, I mean, we have banked on sync licensing and streaming, and he's toured the world.
Uh-huh.
And we started that entire project completely independently, built from the ground up in my studio. And that was, we'd release a single every 2 months, and then we would work the next 2 months, 3 to 4 days a week on perfecting the next single. And then we would do it again. So we're spending that much time per song. It was just mind-numbing. The amount of money that we have made proved to me that it was 150,000% worth it. And had we not put in all of that time and care, I don't think we would have ever really launched.
Yeah.
And because the bar is just, you don't realize when you're making music how high the bar is set if you haven't gotten out there and had some success yet. Because the common mistake is basically, you're this good now, and probably if you had a heart-to-heart with yourself, you would know, okay, my music isn't really ready, but it's the very, very best thing that I can do, and I want to take my shot. And what you don't realize is you might be taking your shot too early. And nowadays, people can put stuff on SoundCloud and just release until things get interesting. But I think it takes the burden away from artists to try and create something great. So what you're banking on is luck. And I don't bank on luck. And so, yeah, I mean, we put mind-numbing amounts of time into record making, especially vocals. But the results are in, when you hear it, you're like, shit.
Yeah, just like they say, as simple as you can put it is, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody thinks it's kind of easy.
Yeah,
or
and
like,
everybody's kind of doing it.
Right? So, but
do you ever catch yourself when you hear a new song or something come out that you just start critiquing, like, man, they should have done this to this part?
I used to be cursed with that. I'm past that now, but there was certainly a time. I think that's like anybody in my position probably has to go through that to grow, because what you're doing in those moments is analyzing those records and saying, okay, well, what are they doing? Can I get anything of value that I'm listening to? And you kind of just get into that habit as a listener, as a producer, and you go like, okay, where can I get new ideas? What did they do? And how did they do that? And is there anything there that can apply to my records? And that's just a learning and a growing process. Eventually, I kind of grew out of that, and I can get back to just listening to music completely for enjoyment or sitting and analyzing it, either one. But yeah, I think that's a curse for most creatives. And the other big curse for any like really busy person in this industry is I'm making so much music that I don't hear very much new music, because I'm in the studio 7 days a week making records. Like, my wife hears more new music than I do. I'm always telling her, like, who do you like nowadays? What are you listening to? So,
right.
same with my assistant. Like, my assistant, I kind of rely on Jonathan Garcia. He's a monster. God, he's young me. He's gonna have a long storied career. But I lean on Jonathan. I'm like, yo, what's popping? Like, what are you listening to right now? Keep me young. Keep me in, in the know. And you gotta, like, this industry is constant reinvention, or you're out.
You're right. You're right.
And so many people just they find success, and then they get complacent, and they think that doing what they're doing right now is always going to work because it worked before. And over time, often it happens so slowly that your work just slows down. You don't even really know why. You don't know. And then it's just gone. You're like, oh shit. So, for me, like, it's always just been a constant reinvention of, trying to stay current and trying to listen to what's going on in the marketplace across all music, because I work in so many genres. And I found one of the things, like, if you look at my resume, it's very hip hop heavy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that hip hop, I was hired to come in and bring another genre authentically to what they're doing, like the horn section on All of the Lights. Right. Kanye called me and he was like, I want it to sound like a marching band in a stadium at halftime. And I was like, okay. And that was almost the entirety of the conversation. And then I just went. And so, I live a strange life.
That is so cool. Thank you so much for being on here. I like I said, I absolutely love having producers and stuff like that on the show, because we do interview a lot of bands, but we want to see what happens in the studio. Yeah, the whole process. Yeah. What goes on?
I'm a mixer too, so like that's one of the things that I love, is I can really take a record I can write it, I can find the artist to record it, or I can write it with the artist. I can produce it up from scratch. I can arrange it. I can then mix it and master it and deliver it to streaming or to the label. And
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a fun superpower to have. So,
awesome. Well, how can everybody find you? What's the best place to go? Where is the best place to go to find everything Ken Lewis and all of your projects?
Super easy, kenlewis.com.
Okay.
So that's kind of like the hub for everything. Obscene Stealers is just as it sounds, obscenestealers.com. Okay. And so one other thing, I have a free YouTube live stream that I do at the first Wednesday of every month called Mixing Night.
Okay.
And it's basically like a 2-hour live stream from the studio, and I describe it as Howard Stern for studio folks. So I'm not trying to educate you, I'm trying to entertain you for 2 hours while I'm mixing and doing sessions and like showing you DAW shit. But it really feels much more like your friend is sitting next to you, just excited to show you cool shit. I
really dig that. That's I saw that. And I was like, that would be really cool, because I am very interested in what you do, because in my younger years, I was like,
the show.
I think I will
watch the show. It's so much fun.
You can't on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, it's coming up. November 8th is the next show. November 8th. But we started Mixing Night the first week of lockdown. And I started it because I had my friend from Germany was over and he got stuck. So he lived with us for 3 months while we were locked down. We had all this like camera gear and all this audio gear. And we were like, let's just start a broadcast. So it started out as Q&A with Ken, and then it morphed into Mixing Night. And it was just trying to keep community together and give people something to do and give us something to do as the world was kind of falling apart for a while. And then we built this fucking amazing community of just awesome people. And they're really super supportive of each other, and they collaborate across oceans and make music together. And it's just mind-blowing things that have morphed in this. So, it's check it out. Mixing Night. The last thing before I go, I just got my 113th gold record today.
Woo!
So they keep coming.
Congratulations.
And yeah, this one, another Kanye. Welcome to Heartbreak off of the 808s album. And my 112th was for production on site for Yeezus. So I keep racking them up with him. So I hope he straightens himself out, but thanks for the work, man.
I love it. Thank you so much, Ken. It was an absolute pleasure having you on tonight.
It was a joy for me too. I really like you guys. So thanks for having me, and you guys take care.
All right. Have a good one, sir.
All right. Bye, guys.
Everybody, that was Ken Lewis. And now we're joined by 75% of Misfire.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, guys?
What's up, John? How you doing, buddy?
In case you guys don't know, my co-host Randy, he is in Oklahoma City.
What's
How's it
going on,
going,
bud?
y'all?
How's it going?
Hey,
Oh,
cool.
spectacular.
Let's talk to you
What's
guys
up, Timmy?
about
Hey.
this
Cool.
Let's crack a beer too. Here you go.
Happy,
What do you
happy
guys just
belated
did?
birthday, man. I tried getting at you.
Oh, thanks, brother.
How was your tour across the states that you just got done with?
It was a trip, man. It was awesome. It was challenging. It was a time that I will never forget. And I'm sure the guys agree with me on that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was wild.
Yeah, but it was so fucking good. The shows were amazing. It was honestly the best tour I've been in, and the best tour I've done. I think out of all the stuff I've done, I think like this one just had all the ups and downs and all the things that people talk about, like is
Yeah, it was storybook.
it was storybook. Yeah, it was like there was pits every night. There was people that gave a fuck about us. There was things that I've never seen in my entire life.
Mountains and stuff.
There was mountains, and there was van problems, and there was this and that. It was
And
very,
problems on top of mountains.
Yeah. Those mountains killed our van.
It could have been worse. It could have been in the winter in the mountains with van problems.
He's
We
not
got
wrong.
beat up enough in the end of the summer, so I couldn't imagine our chances in the winter. But we're training.
Now we know.
We'll get them next time.
Yeah, now we know.
Yeah, we're just gonna get a tank. So fuck those mountains.
I have a specific question for Tim, because this was your first tour joining the band. Like, how is everything for you transitioning in as the new singer and then just hitting the road?
Smooth as butter, man. Like I thought, thought there would obviously be some like shakiness going on, but like that was the first thing I was asking these guys every night. I'm like, are you guys nervous at all about this? Like, because I'm not really nervous about any of this. It just feels right, felt like obviously the pieces were there and stuff, but like I walked into this brand new. I'm still only about 3 months into being in this band, and feels like I've been with these guys a hell of a lot longer than that, needless to say.
I think one of the things I got to see, I want to say like your first show.
You did see our first show, man.
Yeah.
You are also our first hotel room as well, man. So
And for anybody that hasn't had a chance to see these guys when they're out on tour, Misfire is straight raw energy when they hit the stage. Like before they started, they had their intro going, and I was kind of standing back a little bit, soaking things in. And then Tim is doing push-ups on the floor of the bar and then run to the stage. And I was looking at him, I was like, that's not the floor I would have done push-ups on, but okay, buddy.
oh, dude, I would have ate my meal off of that floor in comparison to some of the other venues. So you guys keep it tidy over there.
Oh, damn. Mic drop.
It was such raw energy though. And I know that we took my neighbor's son to the show. He's 15. He may still be watching right now. He was on a little bit ago. James, you made his day 1,000%. He broke a pedal, gave it to him after the show.
Yeah, I snapped the freaking bass drum beater in half that night. That's how hard I was playing. Yeah.
Like on the first show of the tour.
Yeah, that was really interesting. And then you know what? The next night of tour, the next show that we played, I was actually having problems with that same pedal, and the beater kept flying off. So at that point, I had to like just totally change it. So for something about that pedal just wasn't meant to be. But I'm glad that I got to make his day, because that was really cool. And I remember drummers doing that kind of stuff for me back when I was starting out, and that's what kept me going when drumming when I was younger. So yeah, good stuff.
Really cool.
I was pausing because I thought Randy was about to ask a question because he started to talk.
Oh, I wish I would have been able to catch you guys when you were here. You guys know my daughter Rebecca.
Yeah.
Whoa! No way. Yes.
wow.
Yes. And that's my daughter.
No idea,
And she
yeah.
Oh, wow.
absolutely fucking adores you guys and can't say enough about you guys. And just, I mean, it's Misfire. It's Misfire. These guys are some kick-ass motherfuckers. So
That's so fucking cool. That means a lot. Yeah, I mean, all that help that we get on the road, for people like your daughter and John, like that goes a long way for us, for a couple of reasons. And one of them is obviously financially, but the other one is making friends that that really care about you and stuff, and you get to make those kind of friends doing this thing, and it's a really special thing, man. We don't take it lightly. We really appreciate people like you guys. So thank
We're
you.
just trying to make your life easier. That's all.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but it's heavy metal forever, man. It's keeping this thing going.
And where was the best chicken you had on tour?
Your house.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's still good.
I just knew they'd say it even if it wasn't.
But it was.
No, it honestly was the best.
So
Yeah.
who cooked? It wasn't John, was it?
No,
It was
my
definitely
neighbor.
Michaela, right? Oh,
my
okay.
neighbor did the chicken. He very much did. He always takes care of all the grill stuff when we have stuff going on, like little block party action.
I love your fucking neighbors, man.
He's never even met them.
But I love them.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So what's next on the horizon for Misfire? Another tour,
Halloween.
studio
An
time.
awesome Halloween party. We have never played home with this new lineup yet. We're playing on October 22nd at the Forge in Joliet. We're kind of, I think we're going to be doing, it's kind of like a co-headlining thing, but we're giving the band what they're going to be headlining the show. But it'll be Misfire's first hometown show. We went out and did the whole West Coast, like 19 dates or whatever, and we still never played hometown yet. So
that's next. And then it's probably looking like next year is going to be a whole shitload of touring. We're being submitted for some pretty cool stuff that I hope we get, and once we get it, I can talk about it. But till then, I can't talk about it. But between that and writing new music, Sean and I have been playing these songs for a while, and Costa and Tim and us have been playing these songs. I think we probably played these songs literally 50 fucking times since they joined. So we're all like wanting to write a couple tunes. So whatever that ends up turning into in the short term, it will probably just be us playing new songs live, which is going to be awesome. But sometime
Play
here
some new shit.
we will have some new shit out there. Hopefully sooner than later. But the plan is to just tour and keep growing this band the way that we just did.
I always absolutely love it when a band says, yes, we have some things coming, but we can't talk about them yet.
Well,
no,
we do have some stuff that we're working on, but I don't want to say that, jump the gun and say that we have this thing.
I hear you. I hear you, but still, man, it makes me like, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, we are going to
guys,
shit, man. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 'cause you don't know how little or big it's going to be. Yeah, I like it too.
That's what you said.
Fucking suck, or it could be awesome. You don't know yet.
Yeah, it might suck. Hopefully not.
No, I hope not. It's not gonna suck. I know a thing or two about it. It's definitely not going to suck. It's gonna be some really cool shit.
I had to send Randy a photo when you guys were here because you were in a Kiss shirt, and all he did was send me in the back eye roll type shit, and I was like, bro, it's Kiss.
Oh yeah, Kiss is the best.
You have to just have some respect, and I had to make sure I brought it up during the show.
Oh yeah, Kiss is the best, dude.
That was my Kiss plug for tonight.
Nice.
Oh, that's some good stuff.
The one-stop shop for everything for Misfire. Where should somebody go to find your stuff?
Misfireofficial.com.
Official.com?
Yeah, misfireofficial.com. You go there, you can find our videos, our stuff about us that people don't know, just our, all of it, Spotify, all that stuff.
And I want to say there was a really cool thing that you guys had going on with your merch at your merch table at your show. You had probably like 5-6 shirts that you have there, but then on the side they had like a little placard with a bunch of other shirts that you could like scan and just order through their website and have it just shipped to you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you don't have a full load of all that stuff, but it's all still available. It's just like right there, easy access. And apparently from what I was hearing from these guys also, if you order it that way, then if a venue is trying to take part of your merch sales, those don't count.
Ooh, mouth closed for this one. Yeah,
What the fuck is going on with that?
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, I already brought it up once, but
venues getting merch. Oh man, this is a touchy subject for me, but it's kind of lame. It's kind of lame that venues take money from bands, because we don't take money from their sales at the bar, and we're both vending there, and we're both there for the same reason. So yeah, it's kind of fucking lame. So I may or may not have figured out
easy
around it. But yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
No, I totally agree with that. And if that is the practice that's being done right now,
it's more than I'm comfortable with. It's like you're gonna take 20% of our merch. Okay, well, this person gets this and this person gets that, and then we're left with this, and like that's like way less if 20%'s gone. So like, you know what I mean? It sucks. It's lame.
And God forbid your van break down in the mountains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit ain't cheap.
Some bullshit.
Bunch of fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I can say it. That's some bullshit.
Yeah, it's lame. It's lame as fuck. Yeah. Sucks.
What the fuck are you doing, Tim?
Where are we going, Tim?
like we're going on an adventure.
Dude, Tim, you're always going on adventures, man. Yeah. So when we were out on the road, we'd always be like, dude, where's Tim? I don't know. Where's Tim?
Where's Tim at? And it ends up being like he's just taking a shit, right? He's just taking a shit for an hour and a fucking half or something like that.
Why not?
He's changing up the scenery.
Yeah. He knows when bus call is. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Sorry, I gotta poop.
One of my favorite questions to ask when we have multiple members of a band is what is it that you're listening to now personally? Some of your favorites.
Someone else go first.
Okay, fuck it. I'll go and say it. It's probably not the most metal choice, but I missed out on the Ramones a lot of my life. So I've been fucking all about the Ramones for like ever. I know it's shit that kids get into when they're in the 8th grade, but like I never got into them until like 2 years ago. A lot of good harmonies and songwriting there, but like I don't know. I love it all, man. I love it all.
I've been listening to this record I got for like my birthday or Christmas a while back, and it's Boz Scaggs. It's like jazz funk shit. It's pretty badass. I was like, damn, what's this? I thought it was gonna suck, but it's pretty good.
Gonna have to say I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we listened to a lot of like metal on the road. We checked out obviously Heathen stuff and Warbringer stuff, and a lot of Accept and I don't know, everything. So I figured I got home and it's like, oh, what's this record doing? Because I've had it for a little bit. It was pretty good. I also listened to the Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke record.
There you go. Cougs. I've been listening to the Ohio Players a lot on thanks to you.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, so on one of those long ass drives we did, I think Tim was driving. I was DJ and I was fucking busting out the classic jams, Ohio Players, fucking Earth, Wind, Fire.
This is where I'm going to get into funk. So let's do it already.
Yeah.
Fuck me up, Googs.
That's what I do, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jim, what have you been listening to?
I guess more of the same. I've been into the Opeth stuff, like Blackwater, like revisiting that stuff, Blackwater Park and Ghost of Perdition, and some Steven Wilson stuff here and there. But then like classic stuff, like I've been digging Tom Petty's lyrics and old school songs. So that one thing I wrote, I sent you. Yeah, I didn't realize that was a Tom Petty lyric already, but it's gonna be more like a nod, to Tom Petty. But
Definitely.
yeah, I try not to listen to too much metal. I want it, like when I write, I want what I write to be metal. And if I don't listen to that much metal, it kind of like makes me want to listen to metal, so it makes me want to write metal. So I try to like get inspiration from other genres, and not that Opeth isn't metal, but Opeth is very progressive and kind of out there in the world and kind of in space compared to what thrash metal is and stuff. So yeah, I've been listening to that type of stuff.
Before we run too short on time, I know Randy has a song queued up. We're only going to play a short little clip of it.
Okay.
But we want everybody to be able to hear some of your stuff out there as well.
No, sounds good.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, dude, I love this one.
So that right there is a perfect example of these guys just tearing it up, and the energy that John was talking about. That shit is tough. That is some heavy shit.
Live, that's about 20 BPM faster. Now that I've watched some videos from tour, yeah, we kind of like sped everything up and went a little crazier.
Yeah.
Red Bull gives you speed.
Dude, we drank so much freaking Red Bull.
Yeah,
I did. I know. I was like,
call it liquid.
damn.
I call it liquid because if you have it, it's like you get sleep back, like as if you would have slept.
I just want to give I want to
no.
give an honorable mention to Sean over there. Sean did. I think he took the record for the tour. I think he maxed out like 11 16-ounce Red Bulls in like 12 hours or something.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
driving from Idaho to where the fuck were we going? Idaho to
Still my
Denver.
hero for it. It was pretty cool.
Idaho to Denver, that was fucked.
Yeah.
It was a motherfucker, but yeah, that Red Bull's crazy. I didn't sleep for a whole day after that, I think. Yeah.
There wasn't any vodka even in it, dude. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
Or Jaeger.
Was there
right.
one show out there on the road that was like your best show, like where you had the most fun? Like, definitely don't say it was Spica. Like, be real with me. Like, where did you have like just the show that blew up for you?
My
Whiskey
my top three was the Whiskey, it was Seattle, and it was Dallas. Yeah.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Top three go. Yeah. I'll agree with Jim on that one. Dallas was. I'll change Dallas to Austin. Austin was my preferred city in Texas, but Dallas was cool. But Austin, they fucking brought it, man.
I had fun with the lights that night too. So.
Yeah, I would say Whiskey amplified. So it'd be with the Whiskey and then Dallas and Seattle too. Yeah, those were I mean, all of them were fun.
No, they were all
They were a lot of fucking fun, but like
that's not fair to say, man. Like,
those
every
stages
night
and
had its
shit,
moments, man.
that was badass. It was super cool.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you had shit shows anywhere else or that you didn't have, but I'm like, you have a feeling when you're on stage that just hits you. You're like, this is the night. You know what I mean? Like, that's all.
It was those for sure. I mean,
Seattle
definitely the Whiskey
was the first
like
night
the
that
best one to finish with.
Yeah, Seattle was the night that I first starting mosh pits for the other bands. I was just feeling it. I'm like, dude, this motherfucker's got to move, okay? And no one's gonna do it but me. So I just like fucking went in there and started that shit.
The way he did was he just chugged 5 Red Bulls. It's like, fuck this shit up. Well, he had vodka too. It was Red Bull and vodka. So
No, the problem is that, like, they already were moving. They just weren't moving fast enough to Jim's liking. So he
Yeah,
had to go.
they gotta come on, man, let's go. Let's have some
that
fun.
shit
Don't
up.
worry about it anymore. Stop thinking so much,
Yeah.
Stop thinking and respond to me pushing you. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
We brought this question up at the beginning of the show. There's rumors that John 5 is going to replace Mick Mars and Motley Crue. Do any of you guys have thoughts on that?
That's the first I've heard of that. Why is that happening? Why is it even a concept? I know Mick has some illnesses and stuff.
If that's a thing, I could see it happening for sure. Their look is, I guess, kind of similar, and John 5 can play anything, so he would be a good fit, and that's a lot of money for him. So that would be, and he knows like he's in the same circle as that, so like why not? It would be a good fit, I guess, if he doesn't want to do his other stuff. But I think his other stuff's better than Motley Crue, so I don't think he should do that. But yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Adding to that, it seems like Rob Zombie's brought back his old guitar player from what I saw.
Yes.
Rumors, but so something has been shifting. We just don't know where it's shifting.
Well, if it's a rumor, like the way that things go nowadays is it's correct. If it's on the bigger websites and stuff. So yeah, I could see that happening. I don't know.
My theory is this: Alice Cooper and Rob Zombie, they both just switched guitar players. You do the math. I don't know. Like they're Zombies inspired off of Alice Cooper, right? In every way.
Yep.
So there you go. Maybe he was like, Alice got sick of their last guitar player. I'm sick of mine. So
is that why Costa isn't here? Oh man.
Yeah.
No.
You're catching on now.
Costa, you're missing out. You gotta watch this one. Hopefully you watch it.
Absolutely. You guys, I want to thank you for taking some time chatting with us this evening.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having us.
I can't wait to
so
follow
much,
you guys' career and as we progress, I'll be there. Randy or Rebecca will be there. One of them.
Absolutely.
Representation. Anything else you guys want to throw out to the world real quick?
We're Misfire. We're here to stay. Check us out at misfireofficial.com. We cannot wait to get back on the road. We cannot wait to play every goddamn state in the U.S. and get out
everywhere
and do it all, man. And thank you for letting me sleep on an air mattress. That was so much better than the van, and I hope that I can do that again sometime, because that makes the next day and the day after that and the day after that so much better, because if you don't, then you have like 3 or 4 hours of sleep and things get rough. So appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Randy,
Randy,
so much, John. And please tell Rebecca the same.
Oh yeah,
you bet.
Please.
I know she's gonna watch this.
Oh yeah.
if you guys just sit tight for a second, he's gonna take us out with some music.
oh yeah.
We bang your ugly friends too.